Okay, so it feels like every single day there's just this constant flood of AI news, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. A new headline, some new breakthrough. It's uh, it's a lot to sift through.
Right. How do you even begin to cut through that noise and figure out what actually matters?
That's the plan for today, isn't it?
Exactly. We're doing a deep dive. We've gathered a whole stack of recent news analysis, focusing quite a bit on insights from sources like the South China Morning Post.
Mhm.
And the mission really is to pull out those key bits of knowledge, give you that shortcut to being, genuinely up to speed.
And what's so fascinating, I think, is how global and fast-moving AI is right now.
Mhm.
This isn't just about listing facts.
No.
It's about helping you connect the dots, understand the why behind it all, especially, the geopolitics, the societal shifts.
Yeah.
And honestly, there are some pretty unexpected things in these reports we're going to get into.
Oh, I bet. We're definitely going to touch on that intense tech rivalry, between the big global players and some surprising steps forward in open source models. Even humanoid robots are popping up.
Right.
Plus AI showing up in weird places like music and something really important, its environmental impact. So yeah, lots to peel back.
Definitely. Where should we start? The geopolitical angle seems pretty hot right now.
Yeah, let's jump right in there. Our sources are pointing to some really explicit moves like the U.S. planning under the last administration to limit AI exports to China.
Right. That wasn't just about, regular trade.
No, it was clearly strategic, controlling chips, other tech, things that could boost China's AI, maybe even their military development. It just shows how critical AI is now on that world stage.
It really does. And, it's not a one-way street either. We saw Amazon Web Services, for example, shut down their AI lab in Shanghai.
The Shanghai Lablet, yeah, after 7 years.
Exactly. And they directly cited this China-U.S. strategic realignment.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of paints a picture of this wider tech decoupling happening.
It really does.
The U.S. is clearly trying to keep its lead, but there's a risk flagged in the sources, too.
Oh.
That this kind of aggressive stance might actually leave the U.S. sort of sidelined while global AI norms are being shaped elsewhere.
That's a really interesting point, a potential downside. And China's definitely not just sitting back.
Not at all.
They're making their own big moves. We're seeing reports, for instance, that Chinese scientists got past a key design hurdle that was apparently holding back a U.S. Navy drone program.
Wow. Okay.
And maybe even more crucial for their self-reliance goal is this big push for domestic chips. Even NVIDIA is reportedly supporting RISC-V processors now.
Which is huge, because RISC-V, for anyone listening who isn't familiar, it's an open source instruction set.
Right.
It basically gives China a route to rely less on those proprietary Western chip designs. It could really speed up their independence in this tech race.
A pathway around the restrictions, essentially.
Precisely. And speaking of that broader picture, China's effort in open source AI generally is, well, it's pretty staggering.
How so?
According to OpenRank, their contribution to global open source projects, it's up more than 10 times between 2015 and 2024.
10 times. That's massive.
It is. And when you look specifically at open source AI models, Chinese ones like Kimi K2, Minimax M1, Quen 3, a DeepSeek R1 variant, they're grabbing top spots in global rankings now.
Yeah.
Things like El Marina, which is a big benchmark.
So they're not just contributing volume, they're hitting top performance metrics too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It suggests that gap in open source AI between China and the U.S., it's closing fast. Or, maybe it's already closed.
That really is a significant shift.
Yeah.
So what about specific companies then? Like Alibaba, you mentioned Quen 3. How are they doing with that momentum?
Well, Alibaba's Quen 3 seems to be really performing. They've upgraded it, and reports say it's outperforming rivals like OpenAI and DeepSeek in certain areas like math and coding.
Okay, so quality and performance are definitely there.
Definitely. But here's an interesting twist on the user side. While these powerful models are coming out, one particular consumer chatbot from DeepSeek, its monthly downloads apparently dropped like 72% in Q2.
72%. Wow. But other AI apps are doing okay.
Yeah, that's the thing. AI apps focused on work or education, they're seeing growth. It kind of hints at a shift in what users want.
Right. Maybe the novelty of just chatting with an AI is wearing off a bit.
Perhaps. And people are moving toward more practical uses, professional tasks, learning tools.
That makes sense. And it highlights a key distinction, right? Even if some consumer apps fluctuate, the underlying industrial demand, that seems solid.
Oh, absolutely. That demand is driving things like the massive data center build-outs.
Which brings us to companies like ASMPT, the Singaporean chip tool maker. They reported steady growth.
Yeah, their CEO basically said, look, this huge data center construction boom, it's going to drive a lot of demand for AI chips.
So that infrastructure build is where you see the really solid foundational investment happening.
It's a great indicator of the economic engine behind AI. And, beyond the infrastructure and the enterprise stuff, AI is popping up in some really unexpected places, too.
Well, like the music example you hinted at earlier.
Exactly. Get this. An AI band called the Velvet Sundown. In just 6 weeks, it produced 3 albums, 13 songs each.
6 weeks for 3 albums. That's unreal.
And apparently pulled in 1.5 million monthly listeners on Spotify.
Wow. Okay, that just throws up so many questions about creativity, doesn't it?
It really does. What's the value? The human effort or just the final song?
If AI can crank out albums that fast, what happens to the human artists spending years on their craft?
Does it make music creation more accessible? Or does it just devalue the whole thing? It really messes with our idea of artistry.
And the legal side, too. Imagine copyright issues with AI generating millions of tracks.
A total minefield. But then on the flip side, AI is also being used for some potentially really positive societal things.
Like what?
Well, in Hong Kong, where sadly suicides are reportedly on the rise, there's an AI startup trying to spot hidden depression.
Hidden depression.
Yeah, identifying people with milder symptoms that might get missed by current government programs. So you see that potential for social good.
That's incredible potential, yes.
But the sources also talk about this growing sort of social trust deficit in China, maybe linked to the AI era. People losing faith in public rules, more of an us vs them feeling creeping in.
So it's this double-edged sword. Huge potential for good, but also these deep societal shifts and potential trust issues.
Exactly. And then there are the physical manifestations of AI.
You mean the humanoid robots?
Yeah. Sources say China's humanoid robot sales are starting to ramp up, likely helped by government incentives.
And the thinking is, get these robots out there to train the AI.
Seems to be. Morgan Stanley suggested that putting them in real-world situations is a key way to gather data and make the underlying AI models better, faster.
So you could have these advanced AI systems literally walking around learning as they go.
It's quite a picture, isn't it? It really shows the whole spectrum, from algorithms and code,
It's abstract
but to actual physical robots and these enormous data centers powering everything.
Yeah.
But that brings up a critical point, something Anthropic highlighted about the energy demand.
Ah, yes. The environmental angle again.
Right. The U.S. is apparently adding much less power capacity compared to China, like only a tenth of what China added last year.
A tenth? That seems like a huge gap if you're trying to scale AI.
It's a massive bottleneck, and it points directly to maybe the most critical and often kind of glossed over part of this whole revolution.
Its environmental footprint. Yeah, we actually had a listener point that out recently.
Oh, really?
Yeah, saying something like, you're adding to carbon emissions with every single question you ask AI.
That's a really stark way to put it.
It is, highlighting just how much energy these huge data centers consume. It's definitely something we need to think about as AI weaves into, well, everything.
Absolutely crucial.
So thinking back on everything we've covered, it's been quite a journey today. We went from that high-stakes global competition
The tech rivalry.
to the really rapid innovation, those surprising open-source breakthroughs, the humanoid robots on the horizon,
Right.
and then looking at how AI is touching industries, our well-being, even art. We really tried to give you that comprehensive but hopefully concise picture.
And stepping back, you just see AI's influence spreading far beyond the tech itself, right? Changing international relations, shifting economies, even poking at social trust.
It really is everywhere.
Touches pretty much every part of our world,
Yeah.
often in ways we're probably only just starting to figure out. Which leads to, I think, a really important question for you, the listener, to mull over.
Okay.
Given this huge build-out of data centers we talked about,
Yeah.
and the sheer amount of energy used for every single AI query, are we, as a society, actually ready for the environmental consequences of this tech revolution?
That is. Yeah, that's a powerful thought to end on. And a question we definitely all need to be grappling with going forward. Staying informed in a field moving this fast is just so critical. We really hope this deep dive gave you some valuable insights, maybe a few surprising facts too, to help you navigate this incredibly complex world of artificial intelligence.